gather your supplies for the ring today, you can see that I'm going to be using the mini Gemduo beads. They do make a regular Gemduo. The regular Gemduo is 8 by 5, and this mini here is a 6 by 4. The Gemduos will work for the project, but if you use a Gemduo, you're going to have to bump up your seed beads. So we're going to use a mini Gemduo, a size 15 seed bead, and a size 11 seed bead. If you use a regular Gemduo, you'll replace your 11s. No, you'll replace your 15s for 11s, and you'll replace the 11s with 8s. So each size will have to go up. Also, the ring is going to be wider, and it's not going to be as comfortable. So just take that into account. So you want to check the holes in your mini Gemduos. They have 2 holes. So they have a hole here, and then I'm going to stick there. So they have 2 holes run through the bead. You can see here they also have a flat. Let's see if I can lay it down, get a little bit better here. All right, so they have a completely flat side, and they have a rounded side like this. When we thread our beads on, we're going to want to see all the rounded sides of our beads. So I've threaded my needle with 2 yards of thread, and you are going to start your ring by threading on 1 Gemduo, or vice versa, however you want to do it, 1 11 and 1 Gemduo until you get your desired amount of beads to go around your finger. Now, if you grab the pattern for this project, the pattern actually has all of the sizing. I've already done it for you, so I can tell you all the different sizes, how many beads you would need to put on for each different size. But you're just going to keep putting on that 11 and that Gemduo until the beads will go around your finger. Once you have your desired amount of mini Gemduos and size 11 seed beads, you are going to drop these down until you have just long enough of a tail that you can thread your needle onto it and get rid of it at the end. I'm going to take my needle, and now I'm going to come back through all these beads again. Now, remember, if you end or you started with an 11, you need to end with a Gemduo. If you end with an 11, you need to start with a Gemduo. It needs to look just like this to be able for this to work out. So you'll take the needle, and this is the end. So I'm going to come right back around, and I'm going to go through the beads again. So I'm going through the holes that I have already went through in the mini Gemduos, and I'm just going to go through the 11 and the Gemduo until I go through all of them. Now I'm going to hold on to that short tail thread that I've got here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull through what I can of my beads, so they'll form into a circle. And I'm going to continue to come all the way around through the beads. Once I've gone all the way around, you'll see that I have my tail thread and my working thread. Do not tie these 2 threads together. If you do, what's going to happen, it's going to make this row super tight, and when you go to do the next row and even doing your embellishments, you're not going to be able to get the other rows as tight. So it's going to look very funky. So do not tie those threads together. When you finish the row, you are going to exit out of a mini Gemduo. We want to do almost a reversal, a step up. So I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to go through the open hole of the same mini Gemduo. I'm just going to be working in the opposite direction. You will see thread right here on the outside of your bead, but don't worry, because we are going to cover that up with embellishments. So at this point, I love this part. You're just going to take a size 11 seed bead, and you're going to go through the next mini Gemduo. And we're going to work this all the way around, just picking up an 11 and going through the open hole of the mini Gemduo. And I'm going to do this all the way around until it is even and I have a rounded surface instead of a piece like this. Now, when I finish the row, it's going to look depending on my tension, it's gonna not look completely rounded. It's gonna look more domed like this. So there's two things that I need to do. Number one is I need to take my fingers and grab a hold of this base row and jiggle that base row just a little bit to loosen it up. All right. The second thing that I'm going to do once I finish that is I'm going to go through the row that I just completed, and I'm not going to add anything. I'm just going to go through and reinforce those beads. And as I go through the beads, I'm going to pull them tight so that what starts to happen is it starts to even out itself as I work. And that's what I want to do, because remember, we added our beads and then we went through them again on the first row. So that's what we're doing here. We've gone through, we've added our beads, and now we're just going to go through and reinforce those beads again. And as you can see, it's already starting to lay more like what I want rather than splayed out like this. Now, once you get done with this row, this is what your ring is going to look like. Now we want to do an embellishment row, and I really like the embellishments because this helps to pull everything even tighter and really to lay nicely. So I'm coming out of a size 11 seed bead, and you can see here I'm coming out of a bottom bead. So I'm going to pick up two 15s. My thread is exiting out to the right here of that bead. So I've got my two 15s, and I'm going to go through the top 11, and I'm going to go through that bead from right to left. I put my finger there and just pull those beads. Now, I want those beads to lay down and cover up the space here between the two Gemduos. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come back down through my two size 15 seed beads. And I'm going to put my finger there as I pull to keep those beads tight. And then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come back through, so from left to right, through that size 11 seed bead that I started with down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to go through the next Gemduo and size 11 seed bead, so that when I do that, it puts that little embellishment there and now gets me in place to do the next row, or the next embellishment. So I pick up two 15s. My thread is exiting to the right, so I go through the top 11 from right to left. Then I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to come down through the two 15s. And when I come down through those, I'm going to put my finger there as I pull the thread. And then I'm going to come through the 11, coming from left to right, so that I can just continue on through the next Gemduo and size 11 seed bead. And I'm going to work around the whole ring, putting those embellishments in place. Once you've added the embellishments all the way around, you'll notice now that everything has a nice even tension to it. The ring is, you can still kind of push it. Don't flatten it, because if you do, you're going to bust it. But you can see it's still like this, but it's got a really nice tension and structure to it. So once I've gone through and I'm finished off with this working thread, I can go ahead and start putting a few half hitch knots in place. So I'll go through, and you know, I've got plenty of thread left, so if you want to, feel free to go through a couple of times to use up some of the thread. Just make sure that you don't pull the thread tight. We just want to, you know, reinforce and put a few half hitch knots in here. So I'll put a knot there. And I'm using a size 10 needle, so it starts to get pretty tight passing through those beads after a while. But once you're satisfied with this side, then you're going to put a needle onto this side, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to run it through, you're going to put some half hitch knots, and then we're going to trim these threads. So once you get those threads tied off, then you have a great new ring that will actually stack really well with other colors. You can do multiple, you can do the same color, you can do multiple colors, whatever you want to do, but they're a lot of fun and stack really well. I've made a lot of these because I tested all these different sizes. So you can see there how fun that is and how quick and easy you can use up some of your excess mini Gemduos.